Hello, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. This is a very impromptu video. I just felt like sitting down and chatting about my planners a little bit. So here we are. Here is my Hobonichi weeks for 2025. And oh gosh, yeah, today today is the 17th and I just set it up last night. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I just finished setting this up last night. And it had been sitting around for like a week. Actually, a little bit longer than that because the package arrived like 2 weeks ago and then I didn't open it for a week, which is also insane. And then I finally opened it last week and even then I didn't set it up. Like I didn't set it up for another week after opening it, and I finally got around to setting it up last night. I feel like maybe I put this book on a bit of a like kind of a pedestal or something. Like I was afraid to make any marks in my new planner because I really was just kind of afraid to like mess it up to the point that like I was afraid to even start using it, which is ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous, right? I bought it to use it, not just have it sit there be empty, so yeah. But I also couldn't quite work out how I wanted to set up my Hobonichi weeks. Like I kind of had an idea for what I wanted to do with it, but I couldn't really visualize how I was going to do that. And the thought of like even just trying to figure it out felt kind of overwhelming for a while. But I finally got around to it yesterday, kind of on a whim. And I am going into this with the mindset of I am going to like kind of figure it out as I go. Like I was sort of like initially picturing, okay, I'm gonna have this book set up for the entire year and I'm gonna know how it's gonna work and I'm gonna know how to set it up. I'm gonna know what I need. I'm gonna know how I need to do it. And I know none of that. I know none of that at all. So I am coming at this with I don't have to set up the entire book right now kind of mentality, but I will figure it out as I go. And that has allowed me to actually start using it and get over that kind of like mental hurdle of just like quite literally being afraid to use it at all, which, as I said, absolutely ridiculous. So what I want this book to be is a place to help develop more routines and habits that help me with like better self-care. So this isn't going to be a work planner or anything else like that. I kind of just want this to be a place where I work on building, I guess, like better habits, better routines, especially around things like nutrition and exercise, and maybe also like actually taking breaks and resting and like doing other hobbies and things like that. Just general self-care, which is a lot, I guess, to cover in one book. But I'm going to try doing it like a little bit at a time and slowly ease myself into it over like the whole year. So for example, I started out, my first page in here is just my intent for using this book. I don't have any fancy tabs or anything, but I did want specific labels, so I ended up using my little post-it note tabs. Oh, I should mention, this is a Hobonichi Weeks Mega, so there's quite a few pages in the back here for me to fill out, and I plan on using these to kind of continue to think about and sort of strategize how to add more healthy habits and routines into my life. So To start out, I just started to identify like, okay, what are some of those habits that I might want to work on? And what I have so far is just exercise, vitamins, that's an easy one. Water, that one is surprisingly difficult. Reading, actually going outside and spending time outside, and getting enough fiber every day. This was just off of the top of my head, and I knew I wasn't going to put everything here. So I also have a page after that labeled add, where I can continue to write down habits that I might want to try to add in the future. So right now, the other things that I maybe want to add later on are like meditation. I would like to meditate regularly, staying away from processed food, no or low sugar, no alcohol, actually walking every day, and also making more time for plans with my family. But I have a place where I can continue to add to this list. And yeah. Anyway, part of my strategy for this year is just I'm not going to try and do all of these things at once. At most, I think I'm probably going to do about three things at a time that I'm going to try and add to it. So for this first month, I looked at all of these things and I was like, okay, what are 3 things that I want to try and focus on doing a little bit more of right now? And I ended up picking exercise just because even though this one's difficult, I know that this is going to have like one of the more positive impacts if I manage to actually do it. So exercise is one that I picked. And then I also picked water and vitamins, 2 maybe easier ones. And then the exercise one is going to be really hard, I know. But that is okay. We're gonna slowly work that in little by little. And then from there, I kind of went into like, when am I going to do that habit? And then also how. Because I wanted to be pretty specific with it. And then a very tiny little tracker that I am going to keep coming back to. And I have a little reminder for myself to come back to that tracker. I'm calling it my intent check-in. So I have that here. So that is for that. Yeah, so that is basically what I have so far. And then my first page here was me starting to put other things in this planner, because that is initially what I did when I opened this planner up. I just started writing in like random admin to do and other things. Which is silly because this stuff is already in my rings planner and there's no need for me to duplicate it and put it in here. Like that wasn't my intent with getting this book. So that's okay. That was just this first week. I will probably not do that at all in here moving forward. This is just going to be for making sure that I am doing these habits back here, and that I'm continuously checking in with this stuff. And then I also kind of want like a review. I'm planning on doing like a monthly review. So once January is done, I'll have my January review here. And then I'll probably just keep going whenever the month is done. I'll just tab it and put my review in there. And then I'm also being very, I guess, like enthusiastic with my tabbing and labeling of things. Mostly because if I don't label the section, I will absolutely forget that it exists. So yeah, I've got lots of labels. Oh, I also added a mood tracker. I think that's how I'm gonna use this. This front section here is gonna be for mood tracker and maybe like some other things too. Like right now I have just a very basic happy, neutral, sad, whenever my cycle starts, and then like whenever I have like extra bad case of like brain fog or like poor focus day, I'll just highlight those. And I think I'm gonna do like for cycle and brain fog, like other things, I'll probably do this extra dot on the side here. I may put other things in there too. I don't really know yet, but for now this is what I have. And then the actual mood, I'm gonna fill out the main square here. And I'll come back and do that over the year. But once again, the section is labeled, because if it is not labeled, I will never remember that it's there. So yes, it has to be labeled. And I've also started using these like green tabs here to mark every section that I want to revisit on like a daily basis. It's just an extra way to remind myself to actually visit sections of the book, especially as I'm like learning to use it. Yeah, so that is that so far. Let's see, is there anything else about this book? I think that about covers it. I'm excited to use it. Yeah, it's cute. It is, like, as far as like planner size goes, this has got to be like my favorite size. Like, I love A5 in terms of like, I don't know, having enough space to write. But as far as like portability goes, I absolutely love this book. It's so, I don't know, it's just it's the perfect size. But yeah, I really love this. So in addition to my Hobonichi weeks, I have also returned to my Hobonichi cousin after like an almost 2-month long break. I took a really long break because filling out the entire A5 page started to feel like it was just like way too much. Like it was taking me so much time, and I was getting very, very fixated on like the pages looking nice, and I don't know, it just, for some reason, I just got burnt out on it. It was too much. I wasn't having fun with it anymore. Instead of forcing myself to continue with it, I just figured, you know what? I'm just gonna take a break. I don't know if I'll come back to this later this year or next year or not. Speaking of which, this is the spring version. So I still have like a few more months in here actually, which is nice. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the spring version. On the one hand, I like the idea that, you know, the whole year is in a book and it's all there, all of that, right? That's nice to have that all together. However, this allows me to like kind of like not skip, but like it removes my purchasing decision from the time frame of like Hobonichi release week and when like all of the hype is happening and all of that. Like my purchasing decision doesn't have to happen then. Like I have a few more months, I can feel it out. I can really like ask myself like, okay, do I really want a Hobonichi cousin again or not? If I were to do it, how would I do it? What would I do differently, etc., etc. But like there's like a delay between you know, marketing and online excitement and my actual purchase decision. And I like that because it gives me time to kind of like feel things out and kind of like settle down and just kind of like I don't know, just sort through my own thoughts and figure out what is actually going to work best for me. Anyways, long story short, after all of that, I have sort of returned. I'm gonna really, really make sure with the last few months that I have here, I want to be absolutely sure that yes, I want to purchase another Hobonichi cousin, or no, I will not be repurchasing the cousin. So that's my goal with these last few months in here. And I think, like I said, I just got really burnt out filling out this book. It was genuinely just, it was too much. It was definitely too time intensive. And I think if it was a lower time commitment, I might have been able to stick it out a little bit more, but it was just taking me too much time. So my solution for that, the thing I'm gonna try instead this time, is I have just been like completely ignoring the dates, because there are days when I actually want to write a lot more and I want to do a lot more in this book. And there are days where I really don't want to do more than write a sentence or a paragraph. So I think, and I'm hoping that those things will even out, like those days where I want to write a lot more, versus the days where I'm like, nope, I'm gonna write a sentence and I'm done. And I'm hoping they'll kind of even out and I'll end up basically staying with the months where they're at. Yeah. So that's what I am testing. I've just been kind of covering the dates. It's not very well done currently. I've just been like kind of like covering up the dates as I go, because seeing the incorrect date there honestly just kind of like irritates me a little bit. So I have to cover the dates or else that'll get annoying. So I've been doing that. And we'll see how it goes. I might make some like labels or sticker labels to go over it. I've just been using, so I have like some blank sticker paper and I keep scraps in here. And I've just been cutting that out and sticking it on when I feel like it. Or I think this last time I did washi tape. Yeah, I did washi tape over here instead. So yeah, but that's the plan with that. My other issue with this book was the weeks section, which I've never been super fond of. But I think I'm going to try, instead of using these narrow columns, which I don't have a good time writing in, I'm going to try flipping it this way, which I've seen a few other people do as well. And I think the only thing I'm going to put on here is just like a brief like summary of the day. It doesn't even have to be a full summary. It's just like, if I were to jot down a few quick notes about that day, like what would I write down? And that's it. That's all I'm doing. Sometimes it's a quick doodle. Sometimes it's a brief note. It's easy to fill out. I think, so when it comes to this section, like my main goal with this is simply for it to be easy to fill out, not time consuming to fill out, but also I get value from looking back at it. Because I don't want to fill it out just to fill it out. Like that's kind of silly, like just because I can't stand an empty section in the book. I like to actually, you know, feel like I'm getting something out of looking back at it. So I think these sort of like little brief summaries here might be okay. Yeah, so that's my plan with that. And then, yeah, that's it. I don't know. So that's, actually, you know what? There's like other sections in the back here that I've seen a lot of other creators who are like far more creative with how to fill out these things. I'm not pressuring myself to fill out all of these sections. Like I haven't used this or this. I'm at this point in time just happy that I am even filling out like the majority of the book. But yeah, that's how that's going so far. I am having fun in here again. I'm definitely having fun in here again. I'm enjoying writing in it. It's a good place to use my fountain pens. Yeah. All right, and then the last little change slash update that I am maybe gonna make, I'm in the process of making, is I may, hold on, let me get it. I may swap out my rings binder for a Kokuyo Campus binder instead. A few reasons for that. One, the paper is significantly nicer than the paper that I am currently using. Like I've had a really hard time finding decently priced loose leaf paper that I can print on and stick in a binder. That has been a challenge. I have Tomoe River paper and I can print on it. However, it's a little pricey and I always find myself hesitant to print on it. It's also a little bit thin and I worry about how it's gonna handle with like the rings, like in my metal rings binder over here. So I haven't used it. I have it. I probably should just use it. but I've always been hesitant to do that. So that has been a struggle. However, the paper, like the blank loose leaf paper for the Kikuyu campus binders is already punched, which is great. The price point is very, very good, especially compared to the Tomoe River or some of the other higher quality papers. It's about half the price of that, which is excellent. And it still handles very well. It's a little bit thicker, which I also like, especially for rings. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot. I've been like kind of making pages and putting them in here just to start. I haven't actually transferred or moved over here yet. I'm just kind of like experimenting with making pages to see how it goes and how I like it. I also love this binder. Like opening these rings. Oh my God. Not only is it easier than my rings binder, it is like oddly satisfying to open that and click it closed. I could do this all day. Look at that. It's so cool. This is my first binder like this. Like I have one of their smart ring notebooks, but I've never had like a binder thing like this. So anyways, I find that very satisfying. I like the size of the rings. It's gonna make it easier for me to write in here, especially when I actually fill it up with paper. I'm a little bit worried that it will be too small. I'm gonna have to be a little bit more selective about what I put in here. Like there's not that much room. That's probably okay. I hope it's okay. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. This was a relatively inexpensive experiment. And again, the main thing that drove me over here was the paper. I really wanted higher quality paper. It was like, it was truly my only complaint with the rings binder that I have, right? Was just like, I just wanted a little higher quality paper. So I did test printing on it and it's been printing pretty well. I've been trying to make like a different style of planner insert lately. A little bit more like inspired by like an RPG game almost. So I've been working with this. I'm not really done with it yet, but I have a little box up here for my my little health bar, and I'll put in my health habits in here just as an extra reminder. I have a little mood scale from unhappy to happy, and I can fill that in where I am in between. I have a little weather thing. I have a daily quest and the date, and then just some extra space here, and then also a timeline on the side. And then some like kind of random doodles thrown around. So I'm still playing with this and seeing how I want this to go. I haven't really used this page too much yet. This is a new design that I'm trying, and I don't know how it's gonna work out functionally, but I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to try this paper, excited to try this binder, I'm excited to try the new layout. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's kind of all of the changes that I want to make and things that I want to add so far this year. I will say that, like, generally speaking, I'm pretty happy with my system at the moment, actually. I'm still just feeling out like how and where I want to journal. And then I'm trying to add some sort of like health and routine planning kind of thing. And then as far as my my ring stuff, I'm still kind of messing around with paper and possibly a new binder, and we'll see how that goes. But like as far as like jumping into this new binder, I at least kind of know like what pages I need in here, so that wouldn't be so bad. It's not like I'm completely reinventing the wheel here. I already kind of know what pages I need. Transferring would just take a while, probably to like reprint things and kind of organize things again. But yeah, I'm sure this was a very rambly video, but thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Bye.